Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Let's Learn English. I am your host, Jessica, and I am so excited to be here today. We have a really relatable and useful topic for all you English learners out there.
That is right, Jessica. Hi, everyone. I am Daniel. Today on Let's Learn English, we're talking about something we all do every single day, our morning routines. It is one of the most common conversation starters in English, so if you can master describing your mornings, you're going to sound so much more natural.
Exactly, and it's not just about vocabulary, right? It's about the flow of how we talk about our habits. Whether you're a morning bird or someone who hits the snooze button 10 times, we're going to help you express that in English.
Oh, hitting the snooze button. That is a perfect phrase to start with. I am definitely a snooze button person. How about you, Jessica?
I try to be a morning person, but honestly, I'm usually dragging myself out of bed. So let's break this down. When you talk about your morning, you usually use the present simple tense because it's a routine, right?
Spot on. You say, I wake up at 7, or I drink coffee. It's all about those habitual actions. But let's look at the sequence. We often use time markers or transition words to make our stories flow.
Right. Words like first, then, after that, or finally, they're like the glue that holds your morning story together. If you just list actions, it sounds a bit robotic.
Exactly. Instead of saying, I wake up, I brush my teeth, I get dressed, you could say, first, I wake up, and then I brush my teeth. After that, I get dressed. It sounds so much more like a natural conversation.
I love that. So let's talk about some common vocabulary. What are the first things you do? Aside from hitting the snooze, of course.
Haha, fair point. I usually say I roll out of bed. That's a fun idiomatic way to say you're getting up, usually when you're still tired. What about you?
I love that one. I often say I catch up on the news while I have my coffee. Catch up on is a great phrasal verb. It means you're getting the latest information you missed.
That is a great phrasal verb. Another one I use a lot is freshen up. When I'm at work, I might say, I'm just going to the restroom to freshen up. It means washing your face or fixing your hair.
Yes, it sounds much more polite than saying, I'm going to wash my face. It's all about nuance. Now, what about the transition into the workday?
Well, we have the commute. We could say, I head to work or I jump on the train. If you work from home, like many people do now, you might say, I log into my computer or I get started on my emails.
That's a perfect distinction. Log in is so relevant today. And if you're really busy, you might say you're rushing or in a rush to get out the door.
I am almost always in a rush. So listeners, here's a challenge. Try to describe your morning using at least 3 of these new phrases. Roll out of bed, catch up on, freshen up, or in a rush.
That's a great challenge, Daniel. I want to add one more thing, how to talk about those mornings that don't go as planned.
Oh, I have plenty of those. What do you say when things go wrong?
You could say, my morning was a bit chaotic, or I got off to a rough start. Rough start is a fantastic phrase for when you wake up late or spill your coffee.
I love rough start. It sounds so natural. Or you could say, everything went wrong this morning, which is a bit more dramatic but effective.
Exactly. Let's think about how a learner might put this all together. Maybe something like, first, I roll out of bed at 7. I'm usually in a rush, so I quickly freshen up, grab my coffee, and log into my emails. It's a bit of a rough start, but I get there.
That's perfect. It's clear, it uses the vocabulary, and it tells a little story. That's the goal of Let's Learn English, right? We want you to tell your story, not just recite a list of words.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Daniel. It's about building confidence. Even if you make a small mistake, as long as you're communicating, you're winning.
Definitely. And remember, the more you practice these phrases, the less you have to think about them. They just start coming out naturally.
I agree. Maybe our listeners can tell us about their morning routines in the comments section. We'd love to read them.
That would be fantastic. I'm going to be reading all the comments. I'm curious to see who else is a snooze button person like me.
I bet there are a lot of them out there. So let's wrap this up. Today we covered the present simple tense for routines, transition words for flow, and some really useful vocabulary like freshen up and catch up on.
And we talked about how to handle those rough starts. Honestly, I think that's the most important part, learning how to express yourself even when you're having a bad morning.
It truly is. Well, this has been such a fun conversation, Daniel. I feel like my own morning routine is a bit more articulate now.
Me too. It was a pleasure as always, Jessica. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Let's Learn English.
Thank you, Daniel, and thank you to all our listeners. If you enjoyed this episode of Let's Learn English, please make sure to subscribe and drop us a rating. It helps other students find us.
And don't forget to leave a comment with your own morning routine. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Until next time, keep practicing.
Bye, everyone. Have a great morning, no matter how it starts.
See you next time on Let's Learn English.
Just one last thought, Daniel. Do you think our listeners should try to narrate their morning out loud while they do it?
Oh, that's a brilliant tip. Yes, narrating your actions out loud is one of the best ways to improve fluency. I'm pouring the coffee, now I'm checking my phone. It works wonders.
I did that when I was learning a new language, and it actually helped so much. It connects the action to the word in your brain. So listeners, try that tomorrow morning.
Definitely. I'm brushing my teeth, I'm putting on my shoes. It sounds funny, but it's so effective.
Exactly. Don't worry about sounding silly. The goal is to build that muscle memory for English. All right, now we really are wrapping up.
Right, we could talk about morning routines for hours. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.